Oh, we can leave that one off. Good evening. Hello and welcome to another Murder Monday, where we roll dice to kill things. It's pretty great. Thank you guys for coming out and hanging out. Hopefully you're having a pretty normal Monday and it's not a poopy Monday, because Mondays are always poopy. But we're going to make it much better by talking about all the cool, fun stuff that we're doing on our vacation island.
Mm-hmm. Take a vacation from being sickly. For Kiki.
Alright, so last time on Pathfinder, our intrepid adventurers returned to the island that they had been granted by the crown, and were investigating how it had grown since they hired an earth elemental to expand it for them.
Well, a lot. It's grown a lot. Oh god.
They brought in people to colonize their island that nobody else was there for, so colonization therefore is okay.
It was empty. Truly 100% empty, save two entities that are part of society now.
Yep.
And happily so.
And the druid threw down some rituals to get the plant life and everything growing on the island. So she's got two significant forests, one on either end. I'm going to share the picture of that map. Yes, it'll let me. Is it showing up properly?
Yeah.
All right. So you have a large port city, the keep that has been massively expanded, the mage's tower out on an island that they're still in the middle of building, farm villages down towards the south, and then watchtowers ringing the island. You've actually got enough money that you are that you have a small regiment of soldiers that are helping to maintain this island for you. And your halfling mayor that you hired is doing a pretty good job so far. You're not at self-sustaining yet, but it's getting there. Last time, you guys got a tour from the mayor, got to see all of the different buildings and businesses in the main town. Chair.
Beach episode to come soon.
Yo.
So, here's the town that you guys have, with a fishing village and breweries, bakeries, alchemist, smithy, windmill, and of course the most important place where the party spent most of their time, the brothel.
That was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
If you guys missed out on the brothel session last week, don't forget that you can always go back and tune into our previous sessions and watch them again.
You should. Listen to that one.
Definitely would have been.
Bring a vibrator. Watch last session.
G.E. Sephi found out that they're not agendered, but hermaphroditic.
All gendered.
Yes.
All gendered up.
We found out that Fatiana and Kate really are into orgies. And though Fatiana really just likes to be the one in charge, you, screw them. You, put your tongue over here. Kate just, got to get mauled by all of the sexy peoples. And Estrella found herself a hot, hunky, submissive man who she ordered to have his way with her. And boy, did she get it. Once the debauchery was done, the plan for the next morning is brunch at the mayor's mansion with all of the notable people of town. The prior thing was discussed that you wanted to bring up what else you would like to see accomplished on your island.
Yeah.
Let's get a rundown on who's who of the important people. Last night, you also partook of some performance-enhancing substances to help you at the brothel, both for endurance, psychedelics, as well as sensory enhancers. And everybody decided to have some.
Yeah, it was good ass time.
More than a touch trippy. Both Sephi and Estrella had visions at various points during this, indicating that Estrella, the tribe of people to whom she belongs, and the god that she worships, is in the far north. Sephi also found that there had a vision of an old woman in a cottage in a northern forest. And apparently this woman saw Sephi back during this vision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and Estrella decided to channel all of the sexual energy into a divination.
Ah, heck yeah.
Which she had never done before, and was just completely winging it, and it basically made pretty much everyone in town come in their pants.
Ah, amazing.
When you roll high numbers and you're not really have a plan, you just get this surge of magical energy.
Well, I'm saying, just fun things happen when you do that.
So, it is the next morning, and you find yourself awake at the brothel. They're going about cleaning up after last night's excess.
Bet they did.
And you don't have a choice. You can, stay here for a little bit. You can head directly to the mayor's mansion. How would you like to proceed?
Probably to the mayor's mansion.
Okay.
Probably to the mayor's mansion after shaking off all the drugs.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what level of fucked up we are.
Yeah, touche. If we're really fucked up still, then no.
Yeah.
Okay.
What level of fucked up are we?
Everybody give me a fortitude saving throw.
Gang, gang. Get it.
And I will absolutely do that.
Brown chicken, brown cow. I'm gonna be booped up.
Suffering.
26.
Sephi got a really high number that requires her to put it in the calculator. I have a really, really bad cold, so I just got hit with, intense brain fog. 35.
Okay.
That's why I came a little bit late, because I was like, I'm sickly.
Okay.
Need a
nap.
brain.
Feel better now.
What did you get, Kate?
Oh, sorry. 33 for Kate.
Apologize when numbers are hard.
And Brielle, what is your fortitude saving throw? You're still on mute.
Callie, I need math because I don't have enough devices. 19
You need math
plus
from
15.
Who are you asking help from?
19 plus 36. I think. No, it's not. I'm a liar.
Molly. Got it. Okay.
Names are important to use the appropriate ones.
So, let's see how's Thwack doing. Oh, Thwack's doing fine.
So all of us are doing pretty well, sounds like.
Probably
so the
not
only
me.
One who's everybody else is feeling pretty good, except Tatiana.
I mean, you did start the drugs, so.
Right.
And I did
So
all the
Tatiana-
drugs and all the alcohol.
Yep. So Tatiana's feeling a little rough this morning, but not bad.
Can I order a coffee or something for Tatiana?
Yeah, I feel like we should stay at the brothel and have first breakfast, just get some protein in us and drink some water, coffee, and then go to brunch.
I would like a hair of the dog, please, and thank you.
That works too. Just a little baby something, like a fruit cheese tray.
A shot of your finest moonshine, thank you.
So, once you've woken up in the morning, the staff of the brothel does bring in some noms and nibblies for all of you to enjoy. Fatiana does end up getting her hair of the dog to help take the edge off. But they bring in a large urn of coffee for you all to share.
Delicious and wonderful. We're getting a little bit of feedback, so I'm going to see if it's me.
I think it's Brielle.
Yeah, I think it's the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my phone is like right up against my computer because I'm trying to update it.
Do you have headphones that you can use with your phone, or do you need to borrow some? Because it might work better. So if you need to borrow some, I can grab some for you real quick, or tell you where mine are.
Well, I have some up here. Does it help if I put it on mute?
It does, but I would hate for you to have to like mute it and unmute it and mute it and unmute it if it made it easier for you to have earbuds.
Yeah.
I end up doing that anyway every game, so it's fine.
Okay.
Alright. You also find that your clothes are all missing.
Weird.
Fantastic.
I don't remember taking my clothes off.
I don't remember, but it did happen.
It's the drugs!
Damn, some good drugs right there, I tell you what.
Some good drugs, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what. Yeah! Let's do it again. So we're all just, are we butt naked? Like, do we got like towels or robes or something? Like,
Oh, there are robes in the rooms. When the staff sees your confusion, they inform you that they have your having your clothes laundered and prepared, because they know you're headed up to see the mayor shortly. So, wanted to have you looking good. So, and they direct you to the large bathroom that you were using previously to all get cleaned up and refreshed for the day, so that you just don't smell like a bunch of sacks.
a whorehouse.
Yeah.
Hey, the whorehouse itself smells rather nice. It's just,
I bet it does. We smell like a lot more.
Yeah, the sheets in the orgy room that you guys made a mess of are, they need laundering too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just not along with my clothes. Let's keep the juices
Separate, please.
Not to be an asshole or anything, but I am kind of an asshole, and I would probably have been like, well, while I super appreciate the gesture, I really hope you clean my clothes appropriately, because they are magical items, and they do require special cleansing. Hopefully you knew that before you took my fucking clothes.
The one young lady looks a little concerned and goes running off to make sure that there aren't any problems.
That's great, thank you. I am also a little concerned. I never wake up naked, this is strange.
Well, you're adventurers, you rarely ever, half the time you're sleeping on the trail.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In sleeping bags.
It's a big inner clothes. Yeah.
So,
Prestidigitationing them clean.
the large Roman bath is very inviting, and the staff offers if you would like any help scrubbing of your back.
I'll take some from my kitten friends.
Right.
Oh yeah, it was the Tabaxi twins that you went with. That's what it was.
Tabaxi twins.
Yeah.
Tabaxi friends.
Yeah, you went with the cat people.
Yup. It was hot. It was very good. Very good.
After a very relaxing bath and getting yourself scrubbed, do see your clothes brought in individual piles.
Fabulous.
Madame Lilies does step into the room and assures you that your clothes have been appropriately taken care of, and many of the travel stains have been managed to be removed from them.
Wonderful, thank you.
Let's see. You've bathed, you've eaten. It's time to head up to the mayor's house. You want to just walk up there? I mean, it's 4 or 5 blocks.
Yeah, it's fine. A good walk after all that might do us some good.
Yeah, casual stroll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds wonderful.
On arriving, you find that you're a touch early for the brunch. And the mayor's staff shows you into a parlor in his house. You can tell that the building has been recently finished and is a little sparse on furniture. Like many things here, they've only had about 9 months to put it together, so it's not. It all has that feeling of. What was that, Cheeky?
It's not perfect, but they're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
It has that feeling of fresh paint and waiting for furniture to be delivered kind of thing.
I dig it.
But with all of the various shops and so forth in town, they're building a lot of their own things. But if they want something nicer to have it shipped in, it does take a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor's wife, Darla, comes in to entertain you while the brunch is being put together. And there's just general talk of, how things have been going on the island, if they've had any troubles or not. She says it's all been fairly smooth.
Good.
Lovely. I'm
Do
glad.
you guys have any questions you want to ask Darla?
My hair of the dog hasn't kicked in yet, so no.
I don't think
Ask her how
Gonna have a sticky note.
the women are treated on our island.
Few of islands runnings.
Like the gods.
But
Given the fact that the mayor serves a collection of women and Leaf and a goblin, they've been fairly. The structure that they've built up definitely is giving women a fair shake. Still, there's some parts of the culture that, women's places in the home. While they're trying to change that, everybody's got their own personal opinions.
and then everyone, like goblins and everything, are treated well. I'm
So
sure.
far,
Yeah.
So far, there are no other goblins on the island besides Black. Your population
Well,
is, honestly, the brothel has the most diverse population.
not unexpected.
Okay.
Other than that, you've got a dwarven settlement where they're mining up in the mountains. You have a mostly human farm settlement. Let's see, human farm settlements, and humans mostly running the town. You have a number of halflings who are doing a lot of the mercantile trades. You have a gnomish alchemist. And gnomish alchemist and shipwrights, but so you have gnomes, dwarves, halflings are the major populations that you have so far.
Yeah, it's still not bad in humans. So I mean, like,
Yes.
there's a little bit of diversity there. Barely. So.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's not been too bad. There definitely are feelings of social strata between, say, the fisher folk and the merchants. Merchants, of course, they're the ones operating all on money, while a lot of your fishermen are, manual labor.
Yeah. As long as there's nothing that the government is doing to promote classism, I mean, some amount of classism is to be expected.
All right, self-imposed.
Fuck that. We are not having any classism on our fucking island. It's some bullshit.
Well,
As long as the government is
Roy
like,
that shit.
anything to promote that at all.
The government is basically it's small enough population that it's, the fisher folk tend to stick to themselves. The dock workers, they stick to themselves, and the tradespeople. So, but there's only one inn, so if they want to go someplace to drink, they're all hanging together.
All
I
right.
made a note on my sticky note of potentially brainstorming up some festivals to bring everyone together.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, so basically some festivals we'd be willing to fund to help combat classism or racism or anything else, where everyone just comes together and does something fun. Maybe 4 times a year, quarterly or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterly big parties.
Quarterly parties. I like that. Fucking perfect.
It's on my sticky note, because that's the best way to combat most isms, is just bringing people together.
Oh yeah.
Semi-frequently in somewhat forced basis. Hey!
So you bringing up throwing festivals does really get the mayor's wife's attention. She would love to be able to help organize such things.
Congratulations, you're head of the festival committee.
Boom.
Boom,
Like
I was
that.
head of the festival committee.
All right.
Put her in charge of making sure the festivals run smoothly. Whatever
Well, there are the usual festivals for summer, spring, winter, and fall within your culture that are kind of generically shared by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the races have their own different slants on them, but most of the metropolitan folk, they'll celebrate the longest day and the longest night.
Yeah.
They'll celebrate the beginning of spring and fall.
Well, she could be in charge of, like, event coordinating, those type of events, and then maybe do some kind of additional fun things that are just our own island, that are a little bit bigger.
Oh, well, what kind of thing would you like?
I don't know, I feel like this group can brainstorm fun events pretty well. I don't know, just a hunch.
So
Yeah.
far, the one thing that we have to celebrate
Oh, yeah.
is the founding of the island.
Founders Day, that's a good one.
But what day you want to have that? Is it the day that the charter was written, or is it the day that you guys landed here? What do you want to pick?
I think the day the charter was written.
what she said.
Yeah.
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 The
Because
day
that's
that
when
we
the island officially became
Yeah.
our island.
the day we actually got the deed, and it was in
Yeah.
our name, and we became ladies and thadies.
Exactly.
Once the deed was done.
Ladies of the court.
The deed was done. Gang, gang.
I'll start planning right away. And have any if there's anything in particular you want to have included in the festival, just let me know. We'll have to let some of the people on the ships know so that they know to stop by during our festival. It could definitely be a revenue source for the town.
Absolutely. I think it'd be fun to have a lot of merriment. I also think it'd be fun just kind of based on, like, who we are. It's almost like the Festival of Fools or whatever, where, like, the prostitutes and, like, manual labor people get kind of pampered by people in higher up positions.
Oh, so kind of like the King of Misrule at Midwinter.
Mm-hmm. Just celebrating, like, the fact that it takes everybody to get the town going.
Yeah, I like that.
Ooh, I could probably swing it to be one of those. For the richer folk, the more that they contribute to do, the higher status they get out of this.
Exactly. I think that'd be a super fun holiday to have.
I have to tell you, that as my husband and I, we started out as tavern keeps in the capital, and our tavern was not going well. We sold it and came here on the hopes that it would be better. And now I find I'm the mayor's wife. And I really have to tell you how much I appreciate you guys putting your faith in my husband, Darwin.
And Seffi kind of walls up, and in you. Thank you. Got done coded.
All right. So the other notables of the island start to arrive.
Excellent.
Completely on time is Commander Babbitt,
Makes sense.
the commander of your military detachment. With him, he has brought one of his lieutenants, a young man, very stick straight. This guy looks like he's probably just out of the military academy. And clearly he's learning his way along. Let's see, where am I know I had notes.
We still haven't named our island. We're doing a real bad job at that. I just keep forgetting about it.
Uh-huh.
Nothing has popped into my head that it, like, sticks, you know? Brielle, I think maybe you didn't get my message. I think your thing is doing it again.
My computer's off.
Like I don't know why. My computer is like completely off. Like I turned it off. So I don't know why it's still making noise.
Are you on your phone or your laptop?
I'm streaming like this from my phone.
So
I think
what's happening is everything that's getting output through your speaker is getting picked back up by your microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So maybe I just forgot.
Yeah, you didn't have it muted before.
Yeah.
All right. So Commander Babbitt of your military troop. Let's see. Who else? The high priestess of your temple comes along to visit. She's a nice little old lady. Clearly, she's seen some years of her own. Let's see. The head of the Merchants Organization is another halfling, who apparently is some distant relation of the mayor's. For a halfling, he's particularly thin. Somebody might confuse him for being a gnome if it wasn't for the hairy feet.
Oh. Speaking of hairy feet, I got called a fucking hobbit at work by a customer.
Well, they clearly need to be kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, because I had elf ears on, and obviously they don't know the difference between a hobbit and an elf.
They are clearly ignorant.
Yeah. I was also really savage to some guy because he'd said that he lost his wallet, so he couldn't pay us for any dances. And then so I told him to work the corner. And so, baby, you're on Bourbon Street. The gay district is just a couple blocks down. Just walk right out there and work the corner, and you can come back and spend all that hard-earned money on us. Or enjoy your night.
Don't go to a club if you haven't got some money to throw down.
Like, I'm sorry you lost your wallet, but, like, then why are you in here?
How did he get in without his ID?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lie.
That's why I was just like, this doesn't compute. We have a door cover, you have to have an ID, you have to have a Vax card. Like, there's no way that you just walked up in this establishment without any form of identification or some type
All
of
the
money.
things that would be in a wallet.
Yeah, like, okay, whatever. You're a hobbit. Ridiculous.
Alright. So the next person to show up is one you haven't gotten to meet yet.
Ooh.
It is a young lady, probably in her 20s. She's wearing long blue robes with silver embroidery.
Neat.
So, as Tatiana would know, as the member of the Mages Guild, these are the standard journeyman's robes that somebody who works as an active part of the Mages Guild would be wearing. Tatiana doesn't have any because she's a roving member.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, she pays her annual dues and gets, some of the perks, but for the most part, she's off doing her own shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
They have different types of memberships.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Let's see. So we have the head of the Merchants Guild, the mage, who she's working on having the Mages Tower constructed. The chief of the dwarven clan that is on your island. He has he was in town working with some of the construction folk, though he generally resides up near the mine where they're digging into your mountains.
Excellent.
The commander of your city watch, all 3 of your city watchmen.
Excellent. Small.
So the commander of that shows up. He doesn't actually have a uniform, so he's wearing his best clothes and wearing the badge that the mayor had purchased for them.
We're gonna have to work on that.
And I literally put City Watch uniform on my sticky note.
Your military detachment, they're all wearing the standard uniform of the kingdom.
Which I
But
think
they have a pin on their lapel denoting the island's crest. Oh yes, and the military ceremony was in your notes, Tatiana.
Mm-hmm.
Was the formal swearing in of Commander Babbitt. And the
yeah.
officers.
Yeah, because I talked about the thing, and I was like, doop, doop. And you were like, knighting is different. I was like,
Yeah.
That. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that would be your big important people.
Excellent.
Merchant, the head of the dwarves, dwarven clan, the priestess, the mage, and the last one to arrive is one of the gnomes that you met at the Alchemist.
Nice.
He apparently has been is the currently elected head of the tradesmen's guild. They don't have enough people to have individual guilds so far. So they just have one person to represent all of the tradesmen for city council meetings.
Okay.
Which is what Mayor Darwin describes as this is the city council with the addition of Mage Darla. No, excuse me, not Darla. That's his wife.
No, wait a minute.
Did we name? Yeah, we didn't name the mage yet.
E and Darla F. No,
Darwin and Darla. That's their names.
Let me name the mage Susanna.
You like Susanna?
I like Susanna.
She's my
Okay.
mage.
I mean, to be fair, you can veto Susanna. But oh, Susanna, oh, don't you grab me. I'm from Alabama with the banjo on my knee. I can sing to her. It's fun.
Get out. Just get out. Out. Out, I say. I'm kidding. I love it. We're rolling with it. This is great. Susanna. Oh no, come back. Yeah. Don't actually leave.
It was a bad joke, and it took way too long to execute, but I did it, and I committed.
I fucking love it.
You want me to leave? Fine.
Susanna is just the entry at the barest level of journeyman. So usually mages of the 5th circle are when they're eligible to go out as journeymen. Susanna's only of the 6th circle. But the fact that she's been delegated to oversee the building of a tower, actually somebody probably pulled some strings to get a really good assignment for her.
Well,
Nice.
I'm glad she's here.
So introductions go around. You have Commander Babbitt,
Mm-hmm.
and then Commander Lawrence. And Babbitt says, "We need to address that. Commander is a formal rank in the military. You are neither military, nor, as we've discussed, you are my subordinate in times of war. So, and I become your subordinate if you need me for helping to pacify some rowdies who would have come into town. We'll have to figure out exactly how that works."
Mm-hmm.
The last one to sweep into the building is Madame Lily.
That makes sense.
That's
I
fine.
too run on Hooker time.
Of course, very dramatic entrance, a very pretty, formal, not like ball gown, but a very nice day dress.
Yeah.
She's actually dressed nicer than the mayor's wife.
Well,
Makes sense.
wait.
The other
Oh,
two
she's an
female
elf.
present are both in robes of office, the high priestess and the mage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she is an elf
It is true.
who runs a brothel. So
Yeah,
I am
I've
not
never met a
surprised.
prostitute who doesn't dress well. Okay.
I would also be coming up in here with like some fucking luxurious robes with some fur trim. So
I remember at one point in time you guys did purchase fancy dresses.
I'd wear my fancy clothes.
I think we did.
I think mine's a dress, but it's
Oh,
fancy.
they were provided for you at the court of the pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 I'm not wearing that right now.
Not that one?
Nope.
I have my page boy attire on.
I did not have the mental capacity to put all that together this morning. I put on my normal, traditional. I still look great because I'm in a skirt and a corset.
Yeah, your outfit still looks really dang good. Just as is.
And it just got
I
longer.
saw the art
so-
you posted today. That's fresh. Right there. I know what you look like.
That's what my character is supposed to look like.
That's what I'm like. I know what's in there. I see you.
Yeah, that's me.
Did I miss something?
Oh, the social media post that I made today to promote the stream, which I thought you guys had seen these ones, but I mean I can't remember. But it's like it's a picture of the OG Tatiana with like the orange hair and the all black, and then the custom drawing that I had of OG Tatiana, and then it's today's Tatiana of me with the red outfit, like sitting in the chair or whatever at home, or no, it was a picture from a con with the, you know, today's Tatiana drawing with like the Firefox and all the really cool extravagant stuff. Yeah.
It's real nice. You should look it up. It's on Molly's Instagram.
So it should be on Instagram,
there it is,
Facebook,
yeah.
and Twitter.
So I'm like, yeah, your outfit's good enough to go to a thing in.
That's what that's what I'm wearing.
I'll be in my page boy attire. My other attire is leather armor. My canon attire.
All right. So once everyone has arrived, the mayor invites everyone to the dining room, where a nice buffet has been set out, and first he goes around and thanks everyone for coming. He's playing host, even though, of course, you're the guests of honor here.
We're the guests of honor. He's the host.
He does formally introduce the mage, because that introduction is the only one that had not been made previously. And then he turns it over to you guys and says, may we have a few words from you, ladies, and Lord? He actually manages to call Thwack a lord.
Oh, nice. I dig it.
Quality looks like.
I mean, I always thought Tiana starts with a few words. She's the wordy one.
Oh god, I was fucking responding to a message. So wait, we're starting the meeting now?
Yep. So
alright, got it.
Over this brunch, they're having it's the informal meeting.
Right.
They did introduce Suzanne, the journeyman mage, so that she's been formally introduced to you now.
Yep.
And they've called everyone together and said, Lady Tatiana, would you like to say something?
Hey guys, good morning. This island is dope. You guys are killing it. Looks great. You guys are doing really cool. We got some stuff that we want to address. Can anybody get me another one of those, God, hair of the dog things? You know, anybody? Like, please? I'm sorry, excuse me. We had a long night.
Steffi taps some papers on the counter.
I have a few items on the agenda I would like to address.
We're gonna let her start, and, and then I just, like, whoever is the closest person near me of, like, Darwin, Darla, or if they have servants moving around, I'm, like, reaching out to the nearest person, and I'm like, do you have, like, a servant who could just, like, bring me some shit? Like, can I get, like, a Bloody Mary and a mimosa? Like,
there was a butler
It's manifest.
that was standing in the doorway, and out of nowhere, a scotch on the rocks appears for you.
Oh, great. Thank you. Anyway. I'll be ready in 10 minutes.
Lady Sephi, you please tell us what would you like to see of our island?
Well, the first order of business is, due to our previous exploits in helping the Osiris nation with their various god problems, I would like to have a small Osiris temple erected near our current temple in honor of those exploits.
That is doable. To do it right, we would have to bring in probably an Osiris priest and or architect so as to not screw it up.
That is absolutely doable. We have a ton of connections in Osiris now. So we will facilitate the architect and the priest if you can facilitate the erection.
You said erection.
I know. I fit the minute. I was like,
Majority of the money that you have put into the coffers for the buildings has been spent, and we will need more investment from you for further buildings.
absolutely.
I do have prepared a financial report for your lordlinesses to present where we stand with the finances and our projections for when we will start, when we'll be in the green.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Darwin. Much appreciated.
Sephi's trying to sound like very high class and noble, but she's Sephi, so it comes across like a child pretending to be a princess at a tea party.
That was very much the vibe.
Yeah.
I feel that was very much the vibe.
This is too bad.
Do you have anything else that you would like to see from the building, from the settlement we have built?
Does anyone else have a note? Because I figure we can kind of take turns. If anyone else has any notes they want to talk about.
Go ahead and take another one while I look.
I know Tatiana had a number of notes.
I figure we can kind of go back and forth until when she gets back.
So another order of business is I would like to put in a community garden to help with everyone being able to have fresh food here on our island. Somewhere here in town.
We are getting a fair amount of our produce is coming up from the farms to the south, but having that very fresh produce could be beneficial.
Nothing too large, at least not yet. And if we get more people, enough to benefit from a second community garden, we will do that when we get there.
What kind of area are you thinking? Say,
Can you put the map
a
up
city
on-
block's worth of house? What was that?
You put the map up on the screen.
Can do.
In 3 city blocks.
Whole town, just garden, whole town. Because I think I was thinking, because we have the rose garden right there next to the leather works.
Yep, in between the houses here and the leatherworks.
So I think I was thinking either between the keep and the residential area, or between the smithy and the windmill. Whichever works best.
Yes, I think we could do that. Won't take too much effort, especially if we encourage everyone to contribute, as you were saying, with a community garden style thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to designate someone to be in charge of that, but I'm sure we can find someone appropriate to operate that.
Do we have any volunteers among the crowd? Or anyone who thinks they might have a volunteer in their guild? No.
The gnomish alchemist says, honestly, I think that finding someone from the either the dock workers or the other manual laborers to take charge of that might be best. And then they have been complaining of not being included in this council, and so there's even talk of them creating a guild for a manual laborers guild. So I think that might be a good place to put that.
The formation of the Manual Laborers Guild and the community garden that they will build. So
And
also,
if you're advocating for their guild, them to hold a guild, have a guild, it would be nice if they had some small building, because honestly, they are the largest population. Between the fishers, they have their fishery and they're using that as their guild hall. The dock hands and the construction workers, they might wish to have a place to put up some small guild hall. Does it meet with your approval, lords and ladies and ladies? Your nobles. Let's just go with your nobles.
yeah, your nobles.
Your nobles. Do you? Is it acceptable for us to allot a piece of land for them to put up such a development?
Absolutely.
Yes, quite so.
I propose somewhere near the main road leading out of town, next to the merchant exchange and several of the big houses over there, as it is equidistant nearly from the fishing village and the dock workers.
Very well.
What she said.
Giuseppe's trying to pretend to be a princess and is coming across more like a child at a tea party pretending to be a princess, but you know what?
That's okay. I'm almost. I got the hair of the dog coming. We're getting there. Tatiana is almost ready.
Well,
So-
also, we were talking to, I figure we can kind of go, like, take turns presenting things. So, if you have, like, a list of stuff you want to present, you could be next.
I have a list.
So far, because you were stepped out of the room, there's a desire for a small Osiran temple or shrine. Someone to tend the rose gardens and the creation of a community garden, and a guild hall for the manual laborers, because they don't really have a place to meet of their own.
All right, hold on. Let me write this down for. Okay, so wait, small temple thing, and then something about gardens.
The rose garden that's down by the leather workers at the south end of town.
Mm-hmm.
That Sephi nat 20'd into existence.
Yes.
a community vegetable garden to be placed and give people given space to grow fresh produce in town, in addition to what they get from the outlying farms in the south end of the island.
Okay.
And then the last is, while they were discussing the community garden, that the manual laborers have been speaking up that they feel they don't have a voice on this council that is here, and that they would like to, if they form a guild, a manual laborers guild, then their guild master would be appropriate to add to a city council. So,
Okay.
with that, they'd like to have permission to put up a guild hall.
Got it. All right.
I thought was more than reasonable.
Yeah. Sure.
What's on you? And Lady Tatiana, did you have any thoughts and ideas of what you would like to add to our growing community?
Well, if we circle back to the, God, I'm gonna be so mad if I start saying that all the time, because Jason says it, now I'm saying it.
Oh, no.
I hate that. So if we go back to the previous topic that we were speaking about on temples and things.
It's okay, you got hair of the dog, you're a little behind, and there's nothing wrong with that. You were busy drinking.
Yeah. So, what I wrote down on my notes, which kind of seems a little silly, make sure we have all areas to make primary god at temple, -commerce, asterisk, more temples. Northern Pantheon, etc. is... Oh, that was her other thing. Okay. Yeah, so really we just wanted to make sure that we had a larger temple and some shrines and smaller temple areas that could be joined in around that could give some other people areas to practice their shit.
What I think might satisfy your desires is if we were to set aside land or funds for creating, at least to start with, smaller shrines for anyone of specific faiths that wish to create such. I know Clan Elder McGregor, I believe you already have a small temple to Mordain at the Dwarven Village. Is this correct? Aye, we do. Right next to the entrance to our mines. Helps keep them blessed. So, anyone else, we will make clear to anyone else who has a particular faith and wishes to create a shrine that we are open to that. That does bring up the question of some of the darker faiths. Do you wish to allow the worship of all deities here? You can see a very nervous expression on Darwin's face. You all know that the darker deities, there are gods of the assassins, gods of the undead, gods of the underworld.
Yeah.
Underworld is not such a bad place. It's, where people go to die. It's not particularly hell.
I'd say just, we allowed Darwin to make judgments on it. I mean, we've had a lot of, dealing with cultists of the undead that have been really unpleasant.
Yeah.
I
would
say
maybe Darwin would be allowed judgment on that.
people are allowed to make their own decisions of who or what they worship. However, let's minimalize the amount of, chaotic and or evil gods that we are putting temples and shrines to here, because we don't really want to attract that energy here. So,
then shall I say that the state-recognized religions of the country are allowed to put up temples, and anyone else I will forward them to you for your decision.
Sounds perfect. I would love to have a conversation with them and tell them how they can build an altar in their house for their own benefit that doesn't need to be in the public view.
Or how to maybe not summon a bunch of undead to attack the island and become a problem where we have to be adventurers on this island slaying undead.
Oh yes, that's a question. On the mainland, in order to practice necromancy, one must have a license to do such.
Interesting.
That section of our laws we have simply copied from the those of the land. Of course, all of these laws are yet to be ratified by you, aside from the national laws that the king enforces. But did you have, as it is your right to put in any additional requirements? You would also be the licensing entity for any such magic users. The king does maintain a necromancer on his court, often for things such as interrogating the spirits of the dead and other such. So, while it makes the people very uncomfortable, there is a place for it, I guess.
I agree with that stance.
There is and can be, and maybe we should figure out a different area of the island where they can do those things.
That could be possible. Of course, the other questions are, if they're not where you can see them, what are they up to?
Indeed, I think it should be a licensing board.
Should put a trustworthy person in charge of that. That is not.
I think maybe
not
the mage.
That would have to be you, unfortunately.
Her,
Yeah.
not I.
The lords of the nobles of the island would be responsible for such things. No one else would be able to sign for such a thing.
All
because
right.
unfortunately also that puts you responsible to the crown for whatever they do.
I think that's fair, because whatever they do, like if someone decides to try to put up an undead army, like we'll have to be the ones to come back here and deal with it.
Yeah, we'll just hang
Who
them.
else would come back here and deal with it? So I think that's fine if we sign off on it.
Yeah, because we will deal with it, and it is our island, and we will make a show out of them and hang them.
Exceptional undead killers.
It's medieval times. This is what you do. You hang people in the square. All right, that's what's gonna happen.
Impale them on stakes,
Exactly.
draw and quarter them.
That part, yep.
Put them in an iron bowl and set them on fire.
There are a lot of things that we could do to harden these people. Not to mention, most of us are magic users. Fuck
So
that
is there
shit.
anything else that you wish to
Most
Okay.
definitely.
I'll do one of my items and then we'll pop back to you.
Go.
So in the area south of town, that large grassland, I propose we provide some ranch land, maybe some incentives to have ranchers move nearby and raise cattle there, so we have fresh cattle as well here on the island.
We'll have to have those cattle shipped in. That will be a little expensive to have a whole cargo load of cattle brought in.
Well,
But I
then,
think
if we offer incentives to ranchers to move in, they will bring their own herds of cattle. To some extent. We either help foot the payment, or we could give them free land.
I know some people who'd love to have some land for some cattle.
I bet you do, Thwack.
They're so tasty.
It's
yeah,
all
they-
Thwack's tribe, isn't it?
They are tasty, Thwack. However, you can't just take them and eat them, okay? We have to make them, like, give us milk, and they have to have babies, so we can have more of them.
People engage in commerce instead of thievery.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know at least a couple of goblins who were trying to domesticate cows. It's kind of hard when the cow is much bigger than you are, but we can work with this.
Well, don't worry, we need more than just cows. We'd also like some goats And we need sugar and spices and beehives as well. So we're going to need some beekeepers and some people to help with the goats too, because we like that goat milk and that goat cheese. And we need to be able to get some sugars and some spices to help. All of these things will assist us at our brewery. And then we're going to get some really great meat, guys. Yeah.
Speaking of such things, I don't know how this works, but somehow we already have a certain amount of wildlife on the island.
Okay.
That finds a way.
Noble Sephi,
Mm-hmm.
how do we have... You are the druid that caused the plants to grow, and how is it that we have wildlife on the island?
Life finds a way.
You know that you didn't craft a spell to bring, to bring wildlife, birds and squirrels and deer, yet these are being reported in the forest.
Well, here's two questions. Number one, were they not already here? And number
Nope, they
two,
were not. There was nothing on this island.
have we discussed with the white if he was actually capable of maybe conjuring someone or something? I blame it on him. Pretty
Based
sure it's
on
his
your
fault.
knowledge of magical sciences, that's not within his purview.
Well, shit. Just kidding. I didn't say that out loud then.
What? Kissy face.
I have no freaking clue.
So, they're kind of wondering. I mean, they expected to show up on kind of a barren island, but when they found that it was barren to start with, then Cheeky went and pulled her ritual to force the growth on the island. They were really happy when, but within a week they had massive forests and grasslands.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still confused about where the wildlife's coming from.
Where the deers come from.
So,
I mean, Goose can swim, so there's that, I guess.
yeah, but you're a long way from anywhere.
Yeah,
Maybe
we are.
they're very strong mooses.
So obviously we'll look into that.
So they have already imported pigs and goats and sheep. You do have an entire village to the north that is dedicated to your sheep herds in the foothills.
That's why I figured, south, because we have a lot of that, open space there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sheep and goats and things are up north, having some, cows and stuff down south, because cows just need a lot of space. Or they turn whatever space they touch into garbage.
Well, remember, our island is way bigger than this little area we're looking at right now also.
Oh, no, absolutely. There's a whole bit to the south
So,
where we could put
I
houses.
mean, I think it depends on what is the best area of the island that would be beneficial for livestock. Like, where are we growing the best stuff that would be good for the livestock versus what is the best dirt for, growing our herbs and
Well, you
fruit
do
trees and things like that.
So you should see the full island map on the screen now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those brownish patches to the south end of the island are the farms that have been started.
Okay.
You're starting to get wheat and hay and other vegetable stuff from over here. So they're working on creating a sustainable environment. You do have that big grassland that is just south of your town that would serve well for cattle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the cattle could go, is this big.
Yeah, so building basically a cattle range there, the pigs and goats are mostly out at the farms. The farm that is furthest to the north, right on the edge of the forest, they have a small amount of fields that they're growing, but they also are doing a lot of bringing in wood for the shipwrights.
Yeah.
So whatever building tables and chairs and whatever else. if the shipwrights aren't working on ships, they're actually, doing other woodworking.
Yeah,
So-
I think that area to the south would be good. And not to say that, like, pigs and goats can't be there as well in some capacity. Like, they don't have, like, a south side, east side duel going on. Like, they can also be there in some capacity. But, like, I love you, Red.
So
They definitely have a rivalry now.
Fight on sight.
Alright, so there is a fair amount of investments in bringing in cattle. Again, we'll have to talk about how much further you want to invest into the island.
I think all of us even individually have quite a bit of money, so...
Yeah, we're all pretty flush with cash right now, and like with all of the money that we have like in our joint account too, like we got some money in the bank, like got
Yes.
some room to
We
play.
are fabulously wealthy.
And the more you're investing, probably the quicker the return, unless, something goes wrong. So we've got ranchers, and Thwack has volunteered to see if he can bring his tribe of goblins here to run a ranch.
I think that Goblin Ranch would be lovely. That alone could be a tourist attraction to bring people into the island.
Because
Absolutely.
we all know that they were really happy with the cows they stole earlier.
Yo,
you
come down
first
to
met
Goblin
them.
Ranch on our island. Come see how goblins work with cows. I would come to a Goblin Ranch.
Yeah, I'd
Sounds
go.
very interesting just to witness.
Let's see.
Yeah,
What else does anybody have that they would like to see done?
Well, like the Goblin Ranch could have like a dude ranch. People can just stay there too. Watch the goblins. Learn from the goblins and watch them farm cattle. I think just uniforms for the City Watch.
And more.
And then, yeah, that's all I have on my list. And then there's Molly's list.
Okay.
We also discussed getting some fruit trees and bushes so that way we have more fruit and things for our alcoholic beverages so we can make mead.
Are you suggesting a formal orchard or just
Yes.
beautification?
Formal orchard.
So that
As
little
best as possible.
itty bitty thing of islands down here, would that be potentially put in orchard? If it would need to be closer or would be better placed elsewhere.
Well, the itty bitty bit of islands. I'm not clear.
Southeast. Madagascar looking motherfucker.
That's basically a large sandbar.
Oh, then never mind. I can put it maybe up in the foothills.
Okay.
I am not a farmer, and I don't know. So someone else that has knowledge of this will make the decision of where it should go, and you tell me what you can grow, and I will purchase all of the things necessary to make it happen.
Excellent.
My intention is for anything that you wish to have built that we do not have will be to send out, basically recruit people who wish to come and take on land. The arrangement that I have made in your name with all of the people here is that they are leasing their properties from you. And
In
therefore,
exchange.
all of the leases are written for 5 years, at which time they can renew the lease, and they have very charitable funds to help them build on those properties. So if I can send to the mainland and find I don't even know what the word is for somebody who grows
Apple tree.
orchards.
I think just a fruit farmer. I think so.
Yes. So
Well, I was thinking too, what we should do in the foothills, because Cheeky saw this in Germany and thinks it's so smart, is they grow their vines almost on 90-degree hill, And, like, because of that, the grapes are just sweeter, and they're really, really good.
You're talking about terraced vineyards.
Boom, we should do terraced vineyards on the hills.
It's like a terraced vineyard, but by using the earth. Instead of creating a wooden terrace for them to grow on, they're using the actual earth.
Yeah.
That's vertical.
I literally had Jeremy hold my belt and lower me over the side of the hill, and I ate some of the grapes, and they were delicious.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So
10 out of 10.
You want both orchards and vineyards to be started here.
Oh yeah, you definitely need vineyards for sure.
This is going to be the liquor capital of the country. Right
Wine
here.
is important.
As it should
Yeah.
be. This is the liquor capital of the country. Cheeky will shit her pants in happiness. Steffi is not capable of doing such a thing, as she doesn't actually eat.
Or wear pants.
Or wear pants.
You've said that you
Or
wish,
not going to work.
you want me to bring in an orchard keeper, a vintner, and beekeepers.
Yes.
As well as ranchers.
Mm-hmm. And they will
And,
all...
siren priests and architects.
Yep. They will all get their own small portion of the land for them to have a home
Mm-hmm.
that they can do their job.
I figured they could have whatever amount of land, leased to them as you deem necessary, Darwin, or as they deem necessary. Trust your judgment.
Everything
On
is
that.
negotiable.
Yeah.
Then on my next missive to my brother in the capital, I will tell him to begin recruiting for these positions. I do want to thank you for leaving one of your messenger crows here. It's been most helpful for anything that I need to send and place orders for. I have enlisted my brother to work as my agent for you on the mainland.
Excellent.
He purchases things on your behalf for the island, and has them shipped here. So far, we are spending more money than we're bringing in. But
For a fledgling community.
But we are also definitely seeing a decent amount of trade coming in. So we have probably 2 or 3 ships a week who are stopping by.
Good.
We're not to the point yet where we're able to export anything, but by being a waypoint for them, we're definitely being able to give them services.
We are slowly becoming the alcohol capital of this country.
I don't know about that. I do have cousins in the east of the country who they're very well established. But in a few years, we could be, if we get the right people, could be bringing in some notable vintages. And while it will take some time, but also a lot of the trade that we're seeing is going to be resupplying ships. So even the lower grade alcohols that they would wish for their own crews. A lot of our luxury goods are coming in on those ships and we're buying them. But resupplying them has also been a big part of what we're doing.
Excellent.
Now, did you have anything else that you wished?
Did we need to discuss this blue rose thing? The blue roses? Did she sprout those, or did we say we needed to acquire those?
No, there were no blue roses. Were the one color you didn't get, and that's because blue roses are inherently magical, and they have tendency to attract things, specifically Baba Yaga. She has this thing for blue roses. So, also to your knowledge, you don't have any Fae population on your island yet.
That's probably okay.
Yeah.
From what I know about the Fae, I'm not sure that I would want to live on a not so massive piece of land with them.
Yeah, Sephi kind of feels the same way. Like, the Fae tend to, just kind of do their own thing culturally, so if the Fae wanted to come here, they'd be welcome, as Sephi is part of that sect, but, not necessarily, pushing to have them here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They seem like they would stir up a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so I'm like, if they were here, we'd figure it out. But they're
But
not.
they're not.
So it's okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna beg them to come here. They can go wherever they want. We'll discuss it if they happen to arrive. But we did we talked about the festival party stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
To a small degree. If we want to add any more festivals than just Founders Day,
Well,
we could do a name day, but we'd have to name our island.
we we are having a festival, more or less ish, with a banquet, a large banquet at our house, right?
Oh,
In the next couple days.
Yes, the feast that you are planning for the formal swearing-in ceremonies.
Yeah. So
That was being planned for tomorrow night. The
Okay.
domestic staff of your keep was actually really excited that they got to do this, and
so have we discussed that with everybody at the table? Do they all know that they need to come? Have we talked to them about that?
you're doing that now.
Great.
I found an island named generator. You want to try to see what we get?
Let's yeah, sure, why not?
If we don't like it, we don't want to keep it.
Let's roll.
It's Sumi Haven.
I don't like it. It's weird. I kind of like the Haven part, but I don't understand what no.
Yeah.
I like Haven.
Yeah, okay, something with Haven.
Okay, writing that part down.
Can we?
Yeah. Atami Bay,
A tiny bit. That sounds weird too.
Laguna,
These are.
definitely Spirit Isles. So we have Haven. I feel like we could work for this.
I mean, Haven sounds like a good description for the island. Like, the island is a haven. I don't know how to incorporate that into the name.
Well, like, what are we a haven for, I guess?
Haven of whores.
I mean, yes.
It's
But maybe that's not so good for advertising.
it's a safe place
It's
for
perfect for
all
advertising. We'll
people.
just get a bunch of whores in here and it'll be wonderful.
Yeah. Safe space for all people, you know? There is no... Like, we have a little bit of law and some stuff, but there's no weird society standards. There's nobody treating anybody weird.
Because it doesn't nail down anything specific. Inlet Haven.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But are we considered an inlet? Isn't that a real word? That means something?
Inlet is a word. Let's see. I'm just thinking it ought to be something that's relevant to you guys.
Yes.
Badass Island.
I like badass.
Yeah, she did say whore haven. Yes, she did. And there's a reason why, because we spent our entire last session at the brothel, because we're all whores. And whores are the best people in the world.
That is true.
I said it. If you don't support sex work, get off my stream.
Exactly.
Which person on this stream doesn't do sex work? And there we go.
No.
But tis. Man, yeah, I don't know. I keep wanting to call it Fantasy Island, but that's a.
Fantasy Island is very fun though.
But it's like
Or
a
you
TV
can call
show.
it New Haven. Because you just got it created.
I also thought Fantasy Haven, because we will make your wildest fantasies come true while you can be in a safe space to enjoy your wildest fantasies.
I like that. I like Fantasy Haven.
I feel like it doesn't sound like super cool, but
I mean, it's a.
What if it was like a haven of fantasies? HOF?
Fantasy Haven flows better.
Well, I can see. You call it Fantasy Haven, and we're going to start out with just one brothel, then you're going to end up with a competing brothel. Then somebody's going to go and create an entire resort village someplace.
Up in the forest.
I was thinking on the this beach down by the south forest.
That would be a good place for a brothel resort.
You know what? All I am thinking of is the actual TV show Fantasy Island. That's all I'm thinking of right now. Is like this is the little part where they like fly into, and then like these trees segregate them from the rest of the island. That's a great TV show. I love it.
I like Fantasy Haven. It's my vote.
What do you feel like, Kate?
That's true.
I could go either way.
Haha! I bet you could. So, for now, that's what we're rolling with, and then if something else better comes along at a later point in time, we will alter it. And the other thing we need to figure out is our crest and our colors, like what our flag looks like. We need somebody to design that at some point.
So I was just thinking about that. And what about an overlaid flame and leaf?
Perfect. Maybe like a flame, a leaf, and an axe. So I feel like that covers everybody. And even covers everybody on the island. There's a druidic population.
A leaf on fire with an axe hitting it.
Holding an axe.
I think a little less, a little more regal, a little less destruction.
Even just having the 3 overlaid would be good. Like magic users, druids, and then manual free people. And
Ooh, okay. Double crossing axes, right?
Yeah.
With some like little shrubbery, like kind of at the bottom of it, like kind of behind like the handles of the axes, with some little firework like thingies shooting off at the top of it. So that's like, because those of us that do magic, we do magic in different ways, but most of the time when you think of somebody like casting magic, you see like little sparks coming out of their hand. So they could be kind of like fiery sparks, but also like little firework looking sparks. How about that?
I dig that. I like that a lot.
Does that sound great?
Yeah.
We just came up with our fucking thing.
Bada bing, bada boom, baby.
And we need colors. We need colors.
Like a background, maybe it could be, I don't know, what's everyone's favorite colors?
You need to
Purple.
have green on it.
Green.
What's your favorite color, Molly?
I like purple, but if
And pink. Perfect.
yeah, maybe not all that. That seems like
a lot.
So I think a green background would be cool, but the problem is that if we got the green shrubbery on it, it might like disappear to the green background.
There's gonna be green shrubbery on it, so there's gonna be green on it, so I'm good.
So you're good.
So
what
purple
if
flame sparks thing,
Yeah.
green shrubbery, neutral colored axes
Yeah.
on a white background or a black background.
Or we have like hot pink axes.
Well, I mean, like,
no?
but, maybe I'm just like a black background, because black I think is like a color associated a lot with like kink and stuff like that. So
Okay.
Either that, or I was thinking like a fade of like a light blue to like a dark blue if possible behind it, like a gradient.
Heraldry does not involve, proper heraldry does not involve a fade.
Okay, so I mean I vote for a blue background, but that's a me thing. But
I'm
blue
looking at
or
a color
black.
theory wheel.
I guess some kind of blue or black mixture could be blue or black.
Let me put together an initial draft, and then we can, look at it and say, no, don't like those colors.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
So we have even like hot pink axes. We have green shrubbery. I'm looking at what colors complement what.
If you want pink, I say that we should do like pink flowers on the shrubbery.
I like the hot pink axes. I think it's funny. I think it's neat.
It is, but it's weird.
That's why I like it.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Yeah, but I mean, could they? I don't know. Whatever. It's a fantasy game. We can
What
do whatever
about
the fuck
like
we want.
light pink axes?
I'd prefer light pink. I hate hot pink.
Light pink works.
And light pink looks better with like a really dark hunter green, forest green, emerald
Yeah,
green.
that bush would be forest green, and you have purple sparks. It's not helping me, Canva. You ain't helping me.
Man, I'm glad we finally came up with this. It took me forever to think of this idea. I don't know. All it took was for you guys to just start throwing shit out, and I was like, oh, wait, no. Boom, there it is.
So here's an entertaining thing. In the various pride flags, one of the pride flags is the lesbian pride that does have a battle axe on it.
Yo.
It has a pink background. Let's see.
Well, the lesbian one is like 5 different colored stripes varying between white and red.
There's a different one that I'm referring to.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Because everybody makes different flags.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yellow is considered a color of optimism and joy. That might be able to be the background.
Okay.
So that's one of the lesbian flags.
Interesting.
Yes.
That is very...
Yeah. How fun.
All right.
I am going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Word.
Sure thing. All right. So we've decided on, for now, we're going with Fantasy Haven as our island name. I'm going to draw a little quick picture on my paper, the best that I can.
I figured we could all draw pictures of
do a little
what we think the flag would look
shrubbery.
like on paper and then compare, which I think would be kind of fun.
And then
Just for funsies.
do the axes. Shit, I don't even know what the fucking axe looks like.
That is fair.
this should be looking dumb as fuck.
To be fair, same.
Ah, shit, I did the other one better, man. I fucked that up.
Oh no!
I got this.
Already right there with you.
Oh, man, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. Bing, bada, bing, bada, boom, bit. Oh, shit, my flames look dumb. No, we ain't doing flames. We just gonna do little baby fireworks.
Yo, I think that is.
I should have done this in color. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna redo it later in colored pencil on a piece of paper. And then next session, we should share our color pencil drawings of our flag ID.
Absolutely.
All right.
Great
So,
plan.
what else is on your list, Tatiana?
Dick. And pegging.
So I actually meant for the meeting with the mayor, what you wanted to have
transgender women.
Yeah, obviously.
And
real quick, just very casually, just over brunch.
yeah. Well, and then the thing was the creating more rights for the homunculi guy that was here and like discussing that with him, which I don't know if that's something that we needed to bring up at this meeting or if that was something that we needed to do later.
That would be something to discuss with maybe the member of the Mages Guild. So homunculi are usually the kind of things created by artificers. An artificer is a magic user who specializes in creating magic items. And a homunculus is kind of a magic item unto itself that's been given form.
Slightly sentient magic item.
Right. It's been imbued specifically with the skills for building and creating and fixing things. So maybe talking to them about, as they finish out the tower, bringing in an artificer to build some homunculi for you.
All right.
Yeah. I dig that plan.
Damn, I can't spell. I think that was really about it. We, just go over it one more time. The temple stuff, getting some sugar, some spices, beehives, cows, goats, etc., fruit trees, and etc., all that stuff.
Unfortunately, I do not believe we are in the right climate for growing sugar. I don't know, but I will check into that.
Well, I guess if we
Good
can't
sugar alternatives.
grow it, at least find a way to have like a steady stream of it coming, like have a scheduled shipment being delivered. If we can't create it here, let's get a shipment plan so that way we have access to these goods that we need. And then if we have something that they don't have that we can trade with them while they're en route to go do something else, that would also be even more beneficial if that arrangement can be made.
And we even look for sugar alternatives, like stevia and stuff that might grow better here. Sugar alternatives.
Whatever. Make some magical sugar. I don't fucking know. Make people fall in love with each other.
Oh.
And then the homunculi, the ceremony coming up, the festivals and parties, and the city watch uniform. Did we discuss that? That was the last thing.
Do you want uniforms for so far? In a small community, it has worked well for the city guard to be dressed as the common man and just with their badges of office. If you want, we can add to that. We are starting to grow. In total, we have 10 men working on the watch.
I think that'd be good to have, and if they only wear them for like special occasions, like council meetings and things like that, until they have more of an established presence, that's fine, but just having it be in the works to happen, I think would be good.
Yeah, and I think if there's one person that's kind of in charge, making sure that they have something of note, but also, like, if they are going to have to step in and interfere with something, and it's just a badge, well, it's a little bit, but if they have, like, one other thing, like a specific shirt or a hat or something else that's a clothing item, like just a specific shirt that maybe has, like, our stuff on it. It's like our background color with, like, our crest.
Yeah,
What if we give him, like, an armband?
Something.
We will see what works, and with all the ships,
It's like cost efficient for us too. Like we don't want to just go and make a bunch of uniforms for all of the people who might die on our No, I'm just kidding.
And all the other things that you have decided that you would like to add, that is the least expensive of them.
That is fair.
That's quite alright.
valid.
So how much money do you need?
I will write up a missive to my brother and have him start recruiting. Lord Thwack, I assume you wish to send a missive off to your tribe about
I did forget something.
Yes, Lady Tatiana.
The hot springs. The hot springs. Because we got the perpetually hot stone, and we trying to make a hot springs hot tub up in this.
That's true.
Are you referring for just a bath for your keep, or are you actually wanting, say, the kind of hot springs like retreat things we've seen from natural springs? I guess I'm not clear on what you wish, my lady.
That's a great question. Guys, what is it that we wanted? Because
I think it was like a resort area, like a small resort area.
Yeah, like actual hot springs, like in nature, like not just like a in our house.
I think if we're going that extent, we're gonna have to get some help from our nature peoples. Steffi's gonna have to do some stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be worth it. I feel like it'll be like a worthy attraction for our island because people will come and be like, yeah, there's fucking hot springs on this island.
I don't think we wanted it as an attraction for the island originally, because what happened was we found this perpetually hot stone, and we were like, what could we do with it? We're gonna put it on the island and make a hot tub with it. Like, that's what I have written down in my notes.
We could have a hot tub at the keep. I don't
So
know.
I
We have
think-
a lot going on otherwise. So maybe
Yeah.
just have to keep the save costs for now, and we can look into something else in the future.
Yeah, because I don't know how much work the stone does. So if it's
The stone is capable of heating a large bathtub.
yeah, so that's
Okay.
what we were doing was making like a hot. Okay, so I'm thinking like, you know those really cool hot tubs that like meet the pool area and they kind of like flow right next to each other, right?
So an infinity pool kind of thing.
Yeah, so like that inside of our home. So whenever we want to have orgies at our house, we have this real cool pool hot tub area that's like super gravy and like all these cool lounge chairs around it. And if you guys ever watched True Blood and that episode where they're at the queen's house, and basically because she's a vampire and she can't go outside, the walls have like paintings and things on them to make them look like you're outside at this beautiful area, but you're actually inside.
Neat.
I love that.
You know what I'm talking about? I'll have to find pictures, but
I dig it. I dig it.
that's what I want. Yes, that was the other thing.
Alright. So, the other things that were on the agenda is the financial report. Molly, how much money does your accounting say you have in the group account?
100,300 gold pieces.
Okay. You actually have about half of that.
All right. That's
Because you
unfortunate.
gave him you gave him the checkbook, and he's been spending your money.
Yes, he
So
has.
he's spent over 50,000 gold to get you to where you are. He does, based on building another temple, a guild hall. Are you wanting to put forth the money for bringing the cattle to the land, and therefore they belong to you? Or are you looking for someone to lease the land from you and bring their own cattle, which may be a bit more difficult to do that, the latter?
It might be, but that is the idea if we can find someone to do that.
Yeah, I think that it would be good to do that. If they need to like we need to give them a loan in order to get the cattle, they would then pay off to own the cattle. I think that would be fine.
Or if we just have to give them a little bit of money to be able to like pay for them to move over to us, providing them the transport to get to our island and making sure they have at least a little bit of building material to have enough of a living space that they can slowly build on over time.
Yeah, if they need a loan, that's doable.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. The orchards and vineyards that will require labor, but the dwarven clan we have here is more than happy to continue building. I think there's McGregor. I believe you said that there was even thought of bringing some more of your clan. Aye. You want more buildings? We'll put them up for you, and we'll go and work on the mines. Now, the laws say that these mines belong to you, and anything that comes out of them belongs to you. But we are also due our fair pay for our skill, for our knowledge. And so I would like very much for you to come and tour the mines and let us know just what you think a fair wage is.
I think that's more than reasonable.
We've kept an accounting of what we've kept for ourselves versus what we've turned over to the mayor. And I hope you'll not find fault with anything that we've been doing. However you got this island to increase, they did quite a bit. So far, we're just working our way into some of the caverns that were created. Though it does look like there could be volcanic activity.
There was the entity that built the caverns wanted to build the volcano and was advised against it.
It is highly irregular. I do not know who. I heard that he brought forth an earth elemental, to dredge up and build this island.
Mm-hmm.
But how he made so much, and how he brought forth all the things we're seeing, I do not understand. I've worked with
creative passion project.
I've worked with elementals before, and none of them have the power for this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, he's real powerful.
Mm-hmm. I think he was pushing his creative boundaries. It was a little bit of a creative passion project.
Aye. Well, do you have a plan when you might be touring your full property, and when you might come my way?
The feast is tomorrow, right? So maybe like the day after the name day feast? That's why I was so gung-ho about the name. I'm like, name day feast!
Probably after.
Yeah, I'd say probably we could go north first after the name day feast and then head around from there.
Speaking of names, simply we've just been calling it town. You headed to the town, or you headed out of town. We've not actually had a formal naming of our settlement here.
Outside of the name of the island as a whole?
Aye, because you've got a couple of small villages in addition.
So our island is that big that we need to have, like, city names? Oof.
Yes.
Shit, fuck.
Info.
God, it took us this long to come up with the name for our island!
Basically, think about this. Okay, well, you guys wouldn't have the reference, but, you know, you've got the size of a county.
Yeah.
Or, you know, New Orleans, that'd be a parish.
A parish.
Back to the good old name generator.
Ahinga-dinga-durga.
Alright.
It would make sense to call the town something port, because that's exactly what it is.
I mean, you wanted to incorporate horse, it could be horse port.
Docking port?
We don't want to make it just about the prostitutes. We have much more to offer in addition to their sexual services.
What?
No offense, Madam Lily, but you're not the biggest business in town.
Well, she will be.
There's
Genghis.
Let's see. Can you pull up the big map again, Patrick? Look at it and be inspired.
Bikini Bottom. Bing bang walla walla bing bang.
We could do, I mean, like, be super basic and do Westport.
We could be
Because the
super.
port's on the west side of the
There's a
map.
port. Yeah.
Yep.
Westport.
West Pole. I'm down from West Pole, yeah.
Yeah.
Gang gang.
Westport. Perfect. What other towns do we need to name?
West Pole. No. What are we? Fuck it, let's roll it. I got no better ideas.
I like Westport. I think it's fun.
Well, after the island, my clan has been calling our small settlement by the mines. We've been calling it Haven Hole.
Haven Hole sounds perfect.
Alright.
I love it. Do it. For the feast, we can hand out everybody's names. Everyone in the island will come to the feast and we'll be like, congratulations, you live in Bitch Point now. Enjoy, that's your address.
So far, the farms have just been referred to by the names of the
I
farm.
think that's fine.
Yeah, farmholder farm. Got it.
Well, we got Jacob's Farm in the deep south, in the further south of the island, and Teria Farm in the Midland.
The fuck is that?
And to be entirely honest, The forests is the North Forest and the South Forest.
Honestly,
Very original.
keep it simple, you know?
The watchtowers have been named for their position on the clock. To the due north of the watchtower is Watchtower 12.
Perfect.
That
But
works.
we skipped the numbers while we were building them. So you got Watchtower 12, and then you got Watchtower 3.
I mean, that works. I like the system. Don't fault the system, you know? Well, cool. I mean, that's about everything, I think.
Think so.
It needs to be named at the moment. But yeah, we'll announce the names to the rest of the townspeople in an official capacity tomorrow at the feast. And they'll be
So
the
the feast that you had planned for tomorrow night was a formal ball feast just for your military. It was a smaller group of people. It wasn't a whole, it wasn't a festival.
I
You
mean,
want a
you can
festival.
tell them and they can tell everybody else. Disseminate the information. When you write letters, this is your new address. It's Johnson's Farm. And on Fantasy Haven. It's code 00000. But
Darla comments that if you're going to have a feast at the keep, would it be acceptable if we, in the grassy area to the north of the keep, could we make that our festival grounds on the opposite side of the road there?
I think that'd be absolutely lovely. I always love having my house close to where they're having festivals, so I can go home whenever I want.
Speaking of, wait, where is the keep on this map?
If you're looking at a large map, you can see the mage tower on the island by itself,
Uh-huh.
and then there's the building that's right on the coast there.
Okay.
That's your keep.
Okay. And where do they want to put the festival grounds?
Just a little bit to the north. Here, let me switch to the town view.
Zoom in.
So, you see the keep is right here in the bottom corner.
Okay.
And then right across, they're thinking about creating a festival grounds on the cliffs right here, just north of your keep, to the west of the shipyard.
I think
Alright.
that'd be lovely.
Well, 2 questions. 1, is it big enough? And 2, is that safe? Because I'm pretty sure somebody's going to fall off that fucking cliff. I
love
think
the drama aspect of it.
the other area where your mouse is now seems like a much better position.
Yeah, I don't think anything's there either, so then we can expand. If it needs to be bigger, we can expand Southworld.
Exactly.
Well,
I love the drama.
This first time won't be a big thing. I will see if I can get the shipwrights to erect some poles and create an awning or something along those lines. We'll throw up some tables. We'll see what we can put together for a small feast outside of the keep to go in conjunction with the main feast in the inside. If you would be so kind as during the feast, if you would come out and address the entire village, well, town. Now we're a town. I mean, we're pushing our way towards city. If you would come out and address the people, I'm sure everyone would like another chance to see you and hoist a stein to you, given the fact that you're putting out the money for the feast.
I think that sounds lovely.
It's short notice, but we'll get on it right away.
Excellent.
Then Mayor brings. So then, shall we schedule to go on our tour the day after the feast, or would you like another day to rest after that?
I think we should start our tour the day after the feast.
I think so also. But also,
Very
like, the feast to be kind of like a midday to late night thing, not just like a evening to late night kind of thing where we're gonna be up until 3 o'clock in the morning because we're gonna get trashed and partying and we're gonna bring all the whores back to our house and do all the fun stuff. So, like, I'd like us to start with our feasting activities slightly earlier in the day, so it will be an entire day of feasting activities.
I agree with the midday thought.
I am also comfortable with us spending, we'll spend a day with our feast and then a day doing our tour. This way we can continue, because we should have gotten a little bit more settled in yesterday, but we decided to fuck away our woes.
Okay.
Walk around in the most literal sense possible.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
All right. The mayor says that he will put together an itinerary for the tour of the island what's been built out, as well as throwing together a modest festival for tomorrow to celebrate your arrival, all of our accomplishments. I think it will really give people a good sense of accomplishment. The journeyman mage, Susanna, speaks up. We are in the midst of still building our mage's tower. What services, what would you, my lords and ladies, and my nobles, what would you wish of our mage tower? I know that as a port in the middle of the seas, it will be quite beneficial as a stopping point for any adventurers who are wishing to buy or sell equipment. Most likely there's going to be some research done here for the magical forces that have been brought to bear to raise this island are substantial.
Indeed. I think this kind of being both a institution of research as well as a little bit of a jack of all trades establishment where people can come to get magical items that they need as a waypoint.
Then would you wish us to open a shop front, or continue to have those interested in our wares come out to our small island?
I think having a small shop front and having the larger store be on the island. So if they're like, I want to talk to somebody about such and such magical item that's like special, they go in, but if they're just looking for magical items in general, they'd have to go to the island.
Very well. I shall see that it gets started. Mayor, if you'll look at your planning maps and find an appropriate place for us to set up a small to medium-sized shop, probably no bigger than the alchemists.
Probably. There's like a little spot next to the alchemist store. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Next to the residential area in the alchemist store.
Actually, we do try to keep the alchemists and well, it's not a workroom, I guess, so that wouldn't be a problem. The reason the alchemist is there as opposed to with the tower is the magics that they use can often interfere with the magics we're using, different flavor altogether. Even though they are a member of the Mages Guild, we just don't want the energies mixing.
I mean, if that's the case, maybe they could be near the Merchants Exchange next to that road. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll make sure that it is set up properly. We do want to make it accessible, especially for those coming in on ship. I feel that will be a large amount of the trade that we would do.
Exactly.
Looks like we still have some space, like a little south of the windmill, that we could probably expand out and add a couple little areas right in there.
Mostly the leather work stinks, as is the smithy. It doesn't smell very good. So
Yeah, but we were fixing that because we put some flowers and stuff over there. Remember?
Yeah, but they're on the other
doing
side.
some, but
It also helped the residential area not smell quite so bad.
yeah, the rose garden is
Fair.
in the green space between the residential area and the leatherworks.
Okay.
And we've talked about for that green space that you were just looking at is where the community garden was going to go.
Okay. Got it.
So maybe up behind by the merchants exchange.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems like the best place then.
Because then they can, people will be right there too, shopping.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be in a good money spending mood next to the inn, the brothel, and the merchants exchange. It's the town where you come to blow your bag, basically.
Also,
You
there's
can
some space between
Blow
the
a lot of
shipwrights
things.
and the arena.
I kind of like having that square of shops, though, personally.
So the mayor does say that he wants to address the fine. While he has spent a fair amount of the money that you brought in, his current projections, based on his nephew, who's really good with money, he's hired his nephew as the town purser or treasurer. He believes that based on current income and potential growth, the town may be starting to be in the green, or at least into the black, by next spring.
Hey, that's not bad.
All right.
Now, depending upon how the other investments and projects that you've got go, they may need to go, may push that out a little farther. He's concerned that the cattle may be one of the biggest expenses.
Probably.
Well, then just make that the least of your priority.
I mean, it's a big expense, but I think.
But having cattle on the island will also be one of the larger returns.
Mm-hmm.
We
So-
have a little bit of money to spare, so
Yeah, I figure just the priority will be based on who ends up being here first. Just who they end up, like if the orchard people get here first because they get the memo faster, then great, your thing's higher on the priority list. Just based on how fast people can get in here.
I have spent almost all of the monies that you have allowed me to, and right now I'm operating off of the profits that we are making. I have not made any dent into paying back that initial investment. I'm thinking that for what you're asking, that I may need an additional 20,000 gold.
Very doable.
deal.
Yep.
So if you'll mark down your bank account to only, you had 100 and something thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Take 20 off that.
Well, take the 50 off and take the 20 off.
Yep, we have 30,300. We're
And
We're
is
good
that
with
all
that.
you had? Because I thought you should have had more than that.
Well, we had more. We did give him some to begin with,
Right.
but it wasn't a lot. So yeah, that's all we have as a group, as a whole.
McGregor comments.
That McGregor
Comments. Then it's time for me to share what we're finding in the mines. We have found silver ore and gold as well.
Oh, snap.
In one section, we've even found some gems that we believe to be rubies.
Excellent.
And they seem to be of decent quality. Not the highest, but decent quality.
Fabulous.
Right now, we have not said anything to anyone. This is the first that anyone besides the mayor has heard any of this. outside of the mine. We have a large storeroom that has at least 50 pounds of good gold ore. We have not talked about actually building a smeltery, but if we're going to take that gold and ship it back to the capital, then we're going to need to have it smelted down first.
We probably should do that then. I mean, that makes sense to have a smeltery here, especially seeing as we might find even more minerals.
The vein of gold that we found it does not look to be quickly tapped out.
Smeltery goes on the agenda as well. Mm-hmm.
We've been planning for that eventuality, knowing that once you knew that would be probably a priority.
Mm-hmm.
It's also one of the reasons that I have more of my clan coming to protect the mines and protect Havenhold.
Excellent.
Once word gets out that there are gold mines here, you may find trouble. But we are trying to keep it as quiet as possible to start with.
Yeah.
That is wise.
Let's definitely not tell anyone. That doesn't need to know.
Yep.
Which means everyone at this table is now sworn to secrecy about this, and you cannot tell your lovers or your families or your mothers.
Nope.
So at the words sworn, you see everybody's eyes perk up. In a feudal society right now, everybody here is pretty much a peasant. They don't have any land rights whatsoever.
Yeah.
They can be kicked off of their land at your whim. But somebody who is sworn to a lord, there has to be cause for them to be kicked. And so you just brought up swearing in people.
Oh.
And they're all really excited about the idea of getting sworn in.
I mean, that might be, we probably have that be part of the festivities tomorrow, as I think Darwin and Darla especially have more than proven themselves
Oh, yeah.
in their fidelity.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of people at this table, so, you know, we're willing to keep these people around because so far they have proven themselves worthy. Also, Easiest Zebra said that they like your beard and they want to pet it.
Yes, excellent.
I enjoy having my beard petted.
I mean, you are a bear after all.
Rawr.
Rawr.
So Darwin looks around and gets everyone's permission. We here who have been working on here on the town, and he's stuttering over his words.
Oh.
He's so excited.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear it.
We would be honored to become your sworn men and women.
We would be honored to have you.
We would be, and we are.
I know the proper place for this kind of oath is before the gathering tomorrow night, but may we all take a preemptive oath and pledge that secrecy?
Absolutely. I'm sure why not.
Let's do it.
So one by one, each of the people at the table stand up and swear their loyalty to you and to keep your secrets.
Alright. Shout out.
Snaps for all. Snaps for all.
It is the mayor points out, now, my ladies and lord, it is your place to stand and swear your loyalty to us. I know, aside from Lord Babbitt here, none of us are, or Commander Babbitt, none of us are from the nobility. And so this is not a normal thing for us. I think you ought to bring along your seneschal to make sure we do these things right and proper.
We could do that. Whoever that is and wherever they are.
Yeah.
You met him before you had your drinking bout. He was the guy in charge of the domestic operation of your keep.
Fabulous. I do
Yeah.
remember him.
Butler man.
Tatiana remembers him.
Yo.
Molly
So,
was
I
worried
assume
about
you-
other
I
things.
assume you nobles stand up and make some kind of pledge to them as well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. They are all extremely excited. So what I'll tell you is, every subgroup on your island has a morale score.
Nice.
How happy they are with what's going on.
I
This
would hope.
has an
Very
impact on how well they do their job, how efficient, and how likely they are to revolt or try to screw you over.
Okay.
You obviously have to balance that with, taxing and holding people accountable.
Yeah.
So you've now got to deal with that whole rulership bullshit,
Yeah.
at least on a smaller scale.
Yeah. It's not a giant place, but yeah. Makes sense.
Right. Oh, there was one other thing that you guys had verbally commented that you wanted for your island that you have apparently nobody put on their notes. A school.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did
That'd
we?
be good.
Wait, why do we need that?
You've got children.
We
You're
weren't
on-
educated, motherfucker.
I don't have children.
Nah. There's children on the island.
Your
and they-
peasants
Yeah.
and your merchant class have children.
We'd
Well,
rather
they
have
shouldn't.
the population. And
Yeah.
that would fight against classism quite a bit.
Should put those back where they belong.
No children, yeah.
Just in the egg. Never fertilized.
But yeah, no. I think a school would be good. A small schoolhouse. Maybe kind of, maybe like the northeastern corner of town.
Put it where the stinky stuff is. Make those kids smell
Okay.
stinky stuff all
Clearly,
day.
Tatiana is not on the procreation plan.
Tatiana's hangover cure wore off, and she's fucked up again and doesn't want to talk about kids.
So
He's like, we can put him in the northeast corner.
having something like a school will definitely help us attract more people, especially of the merchant class. Having someplace and a professional educator.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, one of those as well.
If this is how we make them happy so they stick around and do their job the way we want it done, we'll give them a building where small creatures can learn things.
I figure maybe the teacher can live in a, like, 2-bed apartment above the school.
Pretty much it's going to end up
Good.
being like your old western one-room schoolhouse
Mm-hmm.
Great.
with. So,
Upstairs,
Perfect.
adjoining department where
Perfectly.
teacher lives.
Yep. Just
given the fact
Get rid
that
of 'em.
you've got approximately right now 250 people for your population, you're probably going to be growing it by at least another 100 based on your projects that you've got going. That would estimate a children population of maybe 75 kids right now.
Perfect.
let's make it
Well.
50.
One of those hippy dippy school buildings where they each are kind of having their own lesson plan.
Pick up a book and read it.
This is a book for your age group. This is a book for this age of group. Enjoy.
First, we're going to teach you how to read.
Yo.
If you have questions after that, talk to your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Learn from them. They work real hard. Learn their job so you can take it over when they die. Because we would
Largely
prefer
what
to
the
keep you
school is
around.
going to teach is the basic subjects: reading, writing, arithmetic, making sure that everybody's literate,
Yeah.
and do proper math so that
Letters
they,
and numbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are very important.
Basically up to a, like, 9th grade education and then off you pop to get an apprenticeship
Pretty much.
and learn a skill.
All right. So we will fast forward, unless you guys want to do something else, to tomorrow night's ceremony.
Festivities!
Let's hit it.
Over the day and a half that Darla's had to put together a small festival in the green to the
I knew I
east,
picked the right gal for my planner. My party planner.
she has managed to get the shipwrights to sink some holes in the ground and use some sailcloth to create an awning. People have brought tables and chairs from their own houses. You can see that there's been a massive amount of work to create benches and tables. So the shipwrights have, not having a ship in dry dock right now, turned their hand to making basic picnic tables. In addition to that, they've worked together to throw up a small stage that is not up against the keep, but uses the keep as a backdrop.
Cute.
I think that'd be lovely.
So this is your beginning of your festival grounds.
Perfect.
Some nobles throw jousts and such on their grounds. With what you're building, you might end up with something along the lines of a county fair eventually,
Fabulous.
where they're bringing in to sell and trade their cattle and sheep. As night comes, they've hung a number of torches around the area, and it's time for the swearing in. Everyone's been drinking and cheering, happy to have a name to call their town other than just the town.
The town. To be fair, I feel we should announce that to everybody as a big fun announcement.
You want to roleplay that one out?
I think that'd be fun.
Okay. Well, then I'm about to
Everyone else is making faces like I just asked them to eat like earwax.
Because y'all always put this shit on me. You guys are like
high charisma.
I understand that Tatiana is literally the only one who fits the bill of playing this role. But damn it, y'all already got me drinking and now y'all want me to go up here and talk to the town again? I fucked it up the first time.
You just say it happens.
I'm gonna fuck it up the next time.
We say it's happened.
Here, this is what happens. I hereby do declare that this town is now, fuck, what's the town's name? This town is now called Westport. I hereby do declare, thank you for your service.
Yeah, that the mines to the north are now called,
Holy hell.
Havenhold.
Havenhold.
Haven.
And the farms each bear the name of their owners.
Yes.
Full capacity.
And you guys are amazing. Cheers to you as they unroll the flag behind us and I shoot off fireworks into the sky.
Yeah.
But tis. My fireworks
Darla,
probably don't go
having
through.
not been informed that there was going to be pyrotechnics, does some pearl clutching. Oh!
We're just a lot.
Ale in one hand, fireworks from the other.
It's like, we're just a lot.
Cheers to you. Wait, maybe it's Southport. I don't remember. There's a song.
Westport. It was Westport. You're
No,
right.
Town is
there's a
Westport,
song
Island
on.
is Fantasy Haven, and the dwarven community is
Yeah.
And
No,
and the
that's not what I
farms
was
are-
mentioning.
They bear the names of their owners.
There is a song that plays in the 76 game that it sounds like they say something like Southport, West Virginia, or something. But they have such a heavy accent, you can't understand what they're saying. So it sounds like, Southport, West Virginia. Like, that's what
You probably were saying words. Couldn't tell, but probably.
So the mayor gets up after you make this proclamation, and he lists off a number of the civil projects that you guys have decided to add to the island.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Everyone cheers.
The fact that you'll be bringing in orchards and vineyards, the growing of the garden, all of the continued work, and he gets everybody hyped and riled up.
Great. And he does not mention the hot tub or the gold or silver or rubies or anything else.
That's all for us.
That's not a civic project, that's, part of your money.
Yeah.
The seneschal steps forward. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the official swearing in of our lords, ladies, and ladies, noble vassals.
Drum roll, please.
Commander Babbitt, please step forward. Commander Babbitt, having been the younger son of a noble family and had nothing to inherit, actually, besides having the military title of commander, he is technically a marquis.
Nice.
Which is a really low title, but it is enough. So, in his formal armor, all shiny and polished, he strides forward and takes a knee before the four of you. I, Commander Babbitt, swear my allegiance to the nobles of Fantasy Haven. I will protect this land with my life and swear all loyalty to you.
Sephi grows a white rose and hands it off to him, acknowledging his fidelity.
Yeah, we do whatever we're supposed to do. We say the words and shake hands and...
That's the only addition.
The seneschal standing next to you kind of whispers your lines to you.
Yeah, we do that.
We, the nobles of Fantasy Hold, do take you to be our sworn vassal, to protect you and reward you, etc., etc.
The only thing in addition is Sephi grows the flower and gives it the white rose to Buddy.
Every single person that's gonna come up.
So,
yeah, is gonna get a white rose. So just factor that into your little equation.
Fucking
Lord
Sephi.
Babbitt, or Commander Babbitt, stands aside. He's beaming with pride.
Adorable.
He has tucked the rose into the edge of his armor.
Excellent.
Perfect.
The seneschal then calls up one by one all of the town council that you had there, and you repeat, swearing them in as vassals.
Yes.
Excellent.
Mayor Darwin and his wife Darla are now your vassals.
Happy to have you. Sephi gives Darla a pink rose as an extra thank you for being the party planner. Sephi really values the party planner. My girl Darla.
Alright, Pinkie Pie.
The high priestess, when she comes up,
Actually, yellow rose for friendship. Ah, I gotcha.
the high priestess, when she comes up, says that she can. Well, she will swear to her loyalty to you. She cannot become your vassal, as she is subject to her church.
Reasonable. No
It's fine.
shade.
As long as you keep our secrets.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you die.
Literally.
Basically, you're being hired on in a permanent capacity. Congratulations.
I'll find you.
The gnomish alchemist steps forward and swears fealty followed by the clan chief of the dwarves. The young mage steps forward and says that I was sent here on assignment, and normally this kind of assignment would not last. But as you offer me to swear me in, I don't know what I've done to earn your trust. I hope to be worthy of it. And the young lady she's nervous.
Is this Susanna?
Yes.
This is Susanna.
You're young and hot. Cheers, batch. I'm just kidding. Tatiana doesn't do that. That was me making a joke.
Right.
Tatiana did not do that.
Vocalize it.
She was playing it out in her head, but she did not do that. She just looked at her eyingly like,
You know
yeah,
what you did.
we're gonna give you a great night in the brothel, and I'm gonna hook you up, girl. I'm gonna pick out your date, and I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be great.
The commander of the city watch steps up and is next to swear fealty to you. By you doing this, these people become permanent in office, and they can expect to hand these offices down to their children. Obviously, as they're not noble or anything, you will have the ability to say, nope, you're not inheriting the title of mayor.
You suck. No, thank you. Yeah, but in theory, as long as their children don't suck, it will pass on.
In theory.
You can kick them out of office at your will, but they're still your sworn people. So.
Well,
And it's also you don't have to swear in their children.
they're not. We don't like those things around these tier porks.
Disgusting.
Only Sephi does.
The last person to step up, and which takes the entire town by surprise, is when Madame Lily
Oh, heck yeah.
steps up onto the dais,
Get it.
onto your stage,
Yes.
and takes a knee and offers her oath of fealty to you.
Hell yeah.
We love her.
She's gonna get a purple rose from Sephi.
Yeah.
What does that
Or
mean?
Sephi
Sex?
really likes get an extra fun colored rose.
So,
Two people, but that's
even though you guys are very, very liberal, most of the society that these people all come from is not as liberal as you guys.
yeah. We're an exception, not a rule.
So, by you clearly taking the side of and recognizing Madame Lily and swearing her in as your vassal, it clearly sets a tone for this town that people who work hard and are worth your trust could get sworn in.
Yeah, boy.
Wee.
You see,
You got the classism here.
on this table so far are the two tables over on the left side that have all of the workers from the brothel, both the prostitutes and their day staff. They are just loud and rowdy as hell. Where they're normally, refined and reserved, or at least you've seen them behaving that way.
I love that.
They're getting loud.
They're not at work right now. It's okay. They're having
They're
fun.
just celebrating this small victory and getting rights.
Yup. Sex work is real work. What?
Bless.
So there's someone who you haven't seen yet, but now they're standing at the back of the celebration. The Ent has come up from his forest,
Ah, lovely.
and he is. Trees don't show emotion very well to anybody except Sephi. Sephi, when you see him, you can see that he is he is emoting happy.
Happy
He's
emote.
happy to see that there are now people on the island. There are people who he actually speaks to.
Would it be appropriate to ask him to pledge fidelity as well? I mean, since I know like Fey lore and everything, would it be appropriate to have him as like a vassal?
It would be definitely be a modified oath, because his oath is first to the land.
Yes, of course.
So you're going to call him up?
Absolutely. Especially Sephi, because Sephi's playing.
Okay. So, hearing his name called from the back of the table, he's too big to walk up the aisles that been created, so he has to go the long way around. But eventually makes it to the open space in front of the stage where Darla was planning for dancing.
Excellent. So Sephi does the amended words we've been saying over and over again, but something to the effect of like, no, your oath is to the land first, but may I have your oath secondly. You know. Also.
You have already given me more than I could hope for when I was trapped on this island.
No.
I was here with none but myself and the right. The crows and I spoke often. Now, there's more here, and you have already promised that you will keep an eye out for more of my kind who would wish to join me.
Mm-hmm.
All know that the southern forest is not to be logged. For that they may choose the north. I will swear to defend this land, to defend its people so long as they respect the land itself.
Sephi makes like a garland of flowers and hands it to the end. Response to his fidelity. Sephi has a very warm spot for the end.
So the end takes the wreath of flowers and hangs it off of one of its branches.
Perfect.
So, while these are the people you've sworn in are not nobles, they're a step above the peasantry.
Nice.
So they now have a little bit more authority.
Yeah, you mess with my ant friend, and you get the business end of my staff.
Yeah.
Business end of my magical staff.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
So everybody seems to be having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, but you've always got your people who are sitting in the corner, kind of just sitting, talking to themselves. But for the most part,
You know, introverts can have a good time too. It's okay. They don't have to be extroverted to have a good time.
so that the band that they had put together for your arrival originally, they managed to get them playing some dance music.
Nice.
So the celebration goes on well into the night.
Yay.
And the mayor at one point makes the announcement that every year they will celebrate Name Day with a feast and a festival.
Perfect. Go team. Feast and festivals. See, Darla has the pink rose. She's the festival director. Very
Yellow.
important job.
Yellow. Yellow.
No, she gave somebody else yellow.
Oh.
Oh no, I gave her yellow. Never mind, it wasn't pink.
Oh,
You changed it to
right.
yellow because she said friendship.
You got this.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
Alright.
Yellow Rose, honor lapel, because she a queen. She a titan. Playing in her
There's
veins.
a small brawl does break out later in the night. Turns out some of the dock workers get into a fight with the fishermen. It's a small thing, not a big deal. Nobody's really hurt. But, you know, what's a party without a little fist fight?
Yeah. It's one of those things, sometimes we'll just get in fist fights and then they're buddies afterwards. Especially dudes. It's a very dude thing to do.
Dudes are so
Kate
weird.
goes over and just grabs the two who are fighting and just pulls them apart from each other.
At first, they're getting ready to swing on you until they see who it is.
Oh.
The fact that their toes are now dangling off the ground.
It's a very persuasive argument, I think, having your toes dangle off the ground by your arms.
Mm-hmm. The commander of the watch comes over. You two are going to have to settle your differences. And you know why? Because you two poor sods are going to have to work together for the laborers guild.
You two all in the same guild now. Got him.
And we're not going to have just one guild master. Oh no, you two are going to have to work together. You're going to have to do it together.
I like this man.
Yeah. Ha.
Boom.
Boom.
Get done.
Apparently this is what the mayor had been planning, but they hadn't had time to talk about it.
Now Sappy is giggling
Now's
from,
the perfect
from on
chance.
top of her little seat and thinks it's just funny as heck. However, giggling from in between the two back seats, that's not front, that's where I'd be hanging out.
Oh dear God.
With my new bestest buddies, the tobacco.
Well, okay, you guys started out up on the stage for the announcements and the swearing in and those things.
Yeah.
But
Fuck. Damn, Seffi.
I'd be hanging out with my new bestest buddies. We wouldn't be making out, but we'd be hanging out. That's for dang sure.
alright, so we'll fast forward to mid-morning tomorrow when your head is only mildly pounding.
Yeah.
Let's see who's hangover today. Give me those fortitude saves.
I'm gonna assume every.
Oh god, Seffi's very hungover. 20.
Yay.
Bro, even worse. Even worse.
Lower than a 2?
Kate got a 33.
Kate,
Hey,
apparently Kate is our professional drinker here.
Yo.
You spend enough time on the dockside in workmen's taverns, and
Just get good at that type of thing.
yeah. So, the mayor pulls around basically a wagon. It's a large wagon that's been fitted with benches in the back for you to sit on. There isn't even a proper carriage in town yet. Nobody's had need of one yet, but they're going to need to transport you guys all the way to the various holdings that you're going to be visiting.
I mean, we have our cart. So it's that bad.
Your cart? That got left back at the Capitol.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we don't have that. That shit gone.
That shit got me on.
That shit gone.
Mm.
We gotta get it. Wait, no. I thought we had it imported. There was something that we put on our boat and took with us. At one point. I thought.
Well, let's just say that the wagon that you guys had before got left here and has been being used. But it's not, a proper carriage for nobility.
No.
Oh, no, it definitely was not. It was just our regular
Regular wagon. It was our
adventurers.
adventurers wagon, not our nobility wagon.
Yeah, it was
Right.
not anything special. We'll take a special one. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna give us a special wagon.
I'm assuming. Wait, what was the maximum number needed to not be hungover?
20.
20?
Hey!
Oh.
Over.
Well
No,
then.
excuse me. 20 is like you're, not dying.
I'm not dying! Hey!
All right.
How bad is it, Tatiana?
Well, I got a 22, and Estrella got a 29. So I'm probably fucked up. Still.
Knowing Tatiana, she drank much more heavily than Estrella.
Yeah,
This is true.
most definitely. She doesn't drink, probably.
At least not much. And this is also a new place, like, completely. She had never been here,
Yeah, I assume being like an oracle, like I probably wouldn't drink like a lot or often.
Yeah. Exactly.
So her 29 is really a 20. Just kidding.
So, your first stop at when you go west from the fisherman's village, headed towards the first guard tower. This is the one that you can see across the inlet from your keep. And this one's not a particularly long journey. Arriving there, you find 5 men of your watch on duty. Traipsing along with you was another 5 men. Because it's time for a rotation. The men will rotate and spend some time back into the garrison and fresh troops out to the watchtowers. The towers are fairly basic. They're 3 stories tall with a flat platform on top. They do have a weather roof. This one is presently doubling as a lighthouse. The mages have promised to put a magical lighthouse on top of their tower once it's completed to protect anybody who's coming in at night from hitting those islands at the mouth of the opening.
That's wise.
But for now, they've set up just a wooden fire beacon, and they're having to haul loads of wood up. That's half of their job right now.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yep.
Should get one of those magical never-ending thingies.
Do it.
Unfortunately, the never-ending torches just aren't bright enough to do the job.
Well, shit.
So they need something a bit more powerful, which is exactly what the mages are promising.
Fingers crossed they pull through.
Heck yeah.
The men are given up the news and a unexpected inspection by their commander, as he's present to for the guard change and to inform them of all the latest news. They of course didn't get to come to the celebration because they were on duty.
Good for them for continuing to work.
Thanks, guys.
Well, the place is not quite as tidy as Commander Babbitt wants it to be, but he doesn't dress them down too hard in front of their lords and ladies. Lords, ladies, and leaves.
It's okay. We don't care all that much about that type of thing.
Yes, but he's a clear military man, and he thinks this is important stuff. Is there anything you guys want to say to the 5 men that have been on watch here, or just, hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing? Ask questions about how they like the place. If they have any suggestions for what to improve, or some things that are going really well.
Questions, compliments, concerns, whatever you guys have, we're open ears.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is the best posting of all the towers. We're the closest to town.
I bet.
And being here between the town and the dwarves, we get a decent amount of travel through. So it's not as boring as it can be on some of the other ends of the island. We at least get to see the ships coming and going through the mouth. While we've had some practice with our ballistas, not had to actually shoot anything for real yet. You'll note that the watchtower is armed with 3 ballistas and a good rack of the javelins that the ballista fires. At least one of them has what you recognize as a spell canister on it, and it's probably the nasty version. The rest probably look to be set to where they could be set on fire. But that load probably does something specific. There's also a large bell, more of a gong really, that's set up to, in the event of a enemy sighting.
Fair.
Traveling north from here, there's a branch in the road. One branch heads to the west through the foothills up to another one of the watchtowers. First, you end up taking the shorter branch that goes due north and end up in Havenhold, the dwarven community. Most of the buildings look to be built of stone that's been mined right out of the side of the mountain. You can see a large opening with rail tracks running out where they're drawing ore carts out.
They're working hard.
Piles, lots of rock. You can see what the rock that's been used for building the building parts of the town, but also their homes here.
Okay.
There's a large open space. You can tell that Chief McDougal points out is where he would like to put his smeltery.
Ah.
And it will serve to take the ores that they're bringing out and be able to refine it to actually usable metals.
Nice.
Your seneschal, who is traveling with you, does inform you that any precious metals brought up in the territory of the crown, percentage, you get a percentage, and obviously there's a percentage for the work that the workers are to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you'll be expected, once the ore has been smelted and refined, you'll be expected to ship a certain amount back to the capital. And he is prepared to write the proper accounting for that. Clan Chief McDougal wants to take you to on a tour of what they've worked in the mine so far.
Yeah?
Okay.
Let's get it, because that way we'll know what to adequately pay them. I'm sure they have some ideas.
So heading down into the tunnels, you can tell that they haven't had to work these tunnels much. You see support beams and archways that they've added, but these look to be fairly natural tunnels at this point. Heading down in, he takes a few turns where they've still have lanterns lighting the way. They're using the ever-burning torches because they don't produce smoke. And rails for their carts. You come to the current section that the group is working. And in the rock in the side of the tunnel, you can see what looks just a smear of gold color. Just basing that if that smear was only a couple of inches thick, it'd probably be 100 bars of gold.
Okay.
So they're working on making this cavern a place where they can work sufficiently and start removing that gold.
Nice.
Okay.
If we found this easily without having to dig further, I estimate we'll be bringing in hundreds of thousands of gold per year. Just from the gold alone. The rubies are another matter.
Indeed.
Takes you further along, and he just points off down the side where that's where they found the silver. not as nowhere near as interesting, and that takes a lot more refining than the gold itself.
Fair.
We came here looking for iron, and then we found that in plenty. But the gold and the silver, that's what will make my clan's fortune. And clearly by doing so, your fortune as well.
Woohoo!
I vote we pick on a percentage profit basis. I.e., we get some percent, the government gets some percent, and then they get some percent.
Yeah. I like the percentage idea. If, and only if, we actually have to claim all of this money to the government.
We probably ought to.
I mean, we are the government, right? Like,
You're like the county government. Then there's the state government, and then there's the federal government. Actually, given the way that your charter was written, because this land wasn't within any other noble's purview, your charter is directly from the king. So you pay taxes only at one level. At the federal level, but that also means that you have to answer the king's call if he comes, or if he sends for you.
Well,
You guys have already met him once.
Can we cheat the system? I mean, fuck the system.
what can we roll for them?
Cheat the 14-year-old boy who thought you guys were the greatest thing since sliced bread?
We should just Reverend Mooney got taken down due to tax evasion. He was a famous cultist. I think we should just not do tax evasion.
I mean, he's 14. How would he know any different?
Because he has ministers and clerks and bureaucrats to keep track of that shit for him.
Like, these bitches.
Fucking fine. Everybody else wants to be fucking good and pay the stupid fucking taxes. I guess we'll pay these stupid fucking taxes.
Well, you'll find out how much the taxes are once they actually start refining the metals.
Yeah.
2%. That's all you get. This is my island.
Well,
you can have a beach house.
Your seneschal, when he's commenting on the taxes, given the fact that you're finding precious minerals on your island, it may behoove you to speak to His Majesty and negotiate a specific tax deal, as opposed to just the standard bureaucratic one.
We will.
That sounds like a good plan.
We're gonna roll some dice for that another time.
Go down the hallway on the far side. He brings into a chamber that once you're in the room, you note that there are no torches here, and he tucks away his ever-burning torch. At first, you're cast into pitch darkness, and then there's this slight red glow that starts to pick up, and your eyes adjust to. Apparently, whatever gems these are, whatever kind of rubies, they're actually casting light of their own.
Oh, that's neat.
I like that.
Okay.
Now, I'm bringing in an expert because I've not worked with any ruby that glows. I've heard legends of them. If these are what I think they are, they may be fire rubies, specifically valuable to the Mages Guild.
We're going to negotiate a little dealy deal with them.
And, as your seneschal will tell you, they're not coin metal. There's no extra tax.
Oh, so we did find a way to cheat the system.
Yep, by just...
Now, how much they are and how many we'll be able to bring out. The problem with them is that they're particularly fragile until they're treated by the mages.
Well, luckily we do have mages on this island.
And so we have not even started to try collecting any of them. We know they're here and we're keeping it quiet.
You guys are the bomb.com about keeping things quiet. Y'all worth your weight in gold for just your fidelity alone. Seppi would say something to that effect, but Seppi-esque. But make it sense.
So, if the gold is going to bring out 100,000 a year at least, I'd guesstimate, based on what we've seen, 2 to 3 years of what we know before we're digging further. At the current amount of manpower I have, these could be at least twice that valued at twice that much. Whatever elemental you had come up, he was no basic elemental.
We did.
He was clearly a lord or better, maybe even a prince.
Well, look at us go. Kicking ass.
But from your description, he was over enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm. This was a passion project for that elemental.
Literally.
He might come back at some point and claim that there is a debt to be paid. I don't know how he'll work with it, but I do not know what you paid him for his works.
Pretty a lot, I think.
You gave him a massive magic gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if he were to come back, we will deal. You can write us, and we will deal with that when we get there. We paid him pretty dang well.
Yeah.
There are more tunnels, even the natural tunnels, than we've managed to explore. So far, I have no idea how far these go. But because they keep going down, I would not be surprised if we were to find passageways even below the ocean surface.
Dang.
So,
Very cool.
with this, he concludes his tour. And you end up taking the road to the north along the western shore.
Yeah, we should continue that next time as we have a dying computer on our hands.
Oh no.
Oh, and it's 9 already.
Yeah.
That was 9.
It's been really fun. This has been a riveting, and I love creating stuff. I love world building, so I love.
I think we have established a lot of things this
We
session.
have covered quite a bit of ground. This
Yeah.
session.
So, the last 2 sessions, we did world and town building.
Yeah.
I do intend to throw in some adventure as well, so we're not just having to, spend 4 or 5 sessions just talking about, and here's your island, and here's what it looks like, and what do you want to call this, and what do you want to build there.
Oh, we should put labels on the big map of what is called what, now that we've named everything.
If possible.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yes, I created these in a map creation program, and they're all just, once I created it, I exported, and then created a JPEG of it, but I can go back into the original and add the things and the stuff.
oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what.
Bitchin'.
So once I roll up to see what he manages to recruit, then I'll start adding things like the rose garden,
Yes.
because that's already been created. I can just add it to the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that she made. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we got lots of good stuff coming up. I'm super excited to see how amazing our island is and how much profit we make. So, fabulous things happening on Fantasy Haven. Tune in Mondays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time to find out what happens next. Thank you guys again for tuning in. As always, you're super radical. It was a average Monday for most of us, but hopefully we made it a little better There was not very much murder today, but there will be murder again soon. You guys know what we like to do.
Politics instead.
The great thing is, I think that our politics are the best type of politics because they are very much non-existent.
Yeah.
We don't discuss politics on the stream. We don't have politics here. We just let people live their lives on our beautiful Fantasy Haven Island, which is phenomenal. Thanks, Scale. I'm glad that you enjoyed listening in tonight. Thank you all again for tuning in. You'll see us next Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Same place, same time, same day, same people. You guys should know the drill by now. So we will catch you next week.
Next week on Pathfinder, there will be blood. There will be mysteries.
Woo!
There will be, what the fuck just happened?
Excellent. That's
Wow.
And soon to come after that, in the future, Swimsuit Beach episode.
Oh yeah.
Bye, guys.